uninterrupted and my fellow classmates. Standing in front of you is one of debating 18. And our debating today will be debating on a topic that has been resolved as human rights do have adequate justification under a secular government. Human rights can, under a secular government, be both protective and restrictive to human beings. On one hand, they guide the behavior and the conduct of people, and on the other hand, they oppress the very same people. All in all, they proclaim to be protecting the inherent dignity of all human beings. We, as humans, by nature are different and lead different lifestyles. So the argument that human rights seek to promote equality members in society is somewhat superficial. Since humans are different than another, they require different kinds of treatment. And what one person may deem right, the next person may seem inappropriate or wrong. Hence, this leads to an inadequate assumption that human rights are subjective in their own nature. According to currently influential philosophical conception, human rights are best understood as sets of urgently important rights that all individual persons may validly claim that all governments are obligated to respect, because no government can reasonably claim legitimate authority unless its legal and political system ascribe such rights, and no society laws responsibly claim to be just unless it has legitimate government. Over the past half-century, since the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was issued, the capacities and functions of state governments have changed, as international organizations, both governments and non-governmental, have reproduced and become increasingly powerful after the Second World War. Many international institutions were created and reformed, taking into account the new political realities. Example, the shift from national to global and from government to government. We live in a democratic country where everyone is entitled to vote for a government that suits their particular needs and interests. However, that government has the responsibility to provide for those citizens and will be held accountable should anything go wrong. Human rights are aimed at redressing the imbalances of the past, and that no one should be inferior to another. And according to Section 9 of the Constitution, it clearly states that everyone is equal before the law and has the right to equal protection, and that the states may not discriminate directly or indirectly against anyone on any grounds, including race, gender, sex, language, etc. The latter constitutional rights include, amongst others, the right to be equal before the law, the right to have one's dignity respected and protected, the right to freedom of religion, and the rights of religious communities. The domestic mandate of the state to realize and effect these and other constitutional rights is furthermore supplemented by corresponding regional and international obligations, together with observance of the rules of law. The Constitution requires of the government to respect the principles of democracy and to fulfill democratic change. It may be expected of government not only to be representative, but also to take positive action to protect every human right and assist previously disadvantaged communities and minority groups, such as religious minorities, to be voiced in a way that is generally approved by society.
Human rights continue being violated across the world, and in most cases, they are not enforceable nor observable. Justifying human rights under a secular government is somewhat problematic, and has invited many contradicting views from different people and organs, more especially on the political and religious context. Human rights are not entirely protective of the vast interest of people which they ought to protect. In some cases, people are oppressed by the very same human rights which are said to be protecting them. Further to that, human rights are rather exclusive than inclusive. Refugees and the stateless people are not included in the protection of citizens of a certain country. These people are not fully represented or protected by the rights which are envisaged by government. Human rights, by their nature, are also not equally representative of all members of society. certain people possess and enjoy far greater rights than others, and that is noticeable in most countries that are characterized by rising and deepening poverty and inequalities. In reality, the elites hold greater rights compared to those living under harsh conditions and poverty-dominant places. The poor are subjected to oppression by the governing systems of some countries, and they have limited or no access to the country's economy, whilst on the other hand, the wealthy have greater access to the country's means of production. With this having been said, one cannot say that rights are altogether unequal as they perpetuate inequalities. Human rights are said to be universal and inalienable. But then, by observing the situations in most Arab countries, where dictatorship regimes continue being dominant, one can assert that human rights are not universally enforced or appropriately enforced. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948 in Article 21 states that all human beings have the right to participate in the governing of their country through freely chosen representatives. But unfortunately, in Arab countries, such as Syria and Egypt, such rights is only theoretical and not practical. Dictators continue being in power even though people are advocating for liberation from unjust political systems. In these countries, elections are held, but nothing fruitful ever comes out of these elections. The universal rights of people are violated, and these people continue being oppressed by the very same leaders, which claim to be representing them. No one in these countries has ever proclaimed to have had fair and democratic elections. Now, in light of the inequalities, the exclusiveness, the oppression, and unjust political representations brought about by human rights, can one firmly say that human rights are adequately justifiable under a secular government? Considering the realities of secular governments, I maintain that human rights are just paradoxical and not necessarily easy to justify under secular governments.
Oh, well, my opponent, to correct the point, rights are unalienable, if not just stated. They are granted to one by an authority and held by the one to whom it is granted to until they no longer hold the opposition they came to which entitle them to the right. In this case, the right that we are granted are human rights. As long as we are human, we do have those rights. Rights can be granted to human by authorities alone, but only as long as the human authority can maintain those rights. When we look back roughly 6,000 to 10,000 years of human history, the essential nature of humanity has not changed at all. We are still essential humans as long as we maintain the status. We will have human rights if they existed at all. In nowadays, the rights do exist, of which we do have human rights. Even though the rights are granted to us by our authorities, who else can grant the right to us, immortal, besides the unchanging God who has communicated those rights to us? The fulfillment of human rights related to the religion may further be linked to other human rights, such as the right to have one's dignity respected and protected, in the aim to protect and fulfill the purpose of human rights. For the protection of freedom of religion and the rights of religious communities, the legislative and executives are confronted